Now, our security forces have now been told to start dominating these areas, especially in South Kashmir. But Pakistan is back to raising the Kashmir bogey. Predictably, the valley is on the boil once again. So who is forcing young students, college students and school students, especially young girls now in Sopore, to choose stones over books? Are these the same people defending the stone pelters in the name of saving Kashmir? The Indian Army has said they will crack down on those who disobey the rule of law. They will also crack down on Pakistan-sponsored terror and Pakistan beheading or mutilating our soldiers at the line of control. So the current situation in Jammu and Kashmir, rather difficult.
Sopore and Shopian. Just two images coming out of Kashmir today tell the story of the hot summer that's only just beginning in the valley. Schoolgirls joined the protest against the security forces in Sopore. In Shopian, stone pelters disrupted the army, which was in the midst of an anti-terror operation. The massive operation spans 20 villages of Shopian. 4,000 Jawans are braving not just insurgency, but pelters in Shopian.
Combing operation goes on regularly. It is everyday affair. आज कोई नया combing operation नहीं हो रहा है, regular affair है.
Despite the social media clampdown in the valley, terror videos had surfaced, alerting the army of a possible strike. The army chief had earlier warned pelters disrupting army operations of street action.
That people who have picked up arms, and these are the local boys, if they want to continue with this acts of terrorism, displaying flags of ISIS and Pakistan, then we will treat them as anti-national elements.
As Kashmir remains on the boil, former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Farooq Abdullah has battled for talks with a betraying Pakistan.
इस कशीदगी को अगर हमने कम करना है तो बातचीत के बगैर कोई और रास्ता है नहीं. लड़ाई किसी चीज का हल नहीं है. पाकिस्तान ने अगर ये किया है तो मुझे सख्त अफसोस है, क्योंकि हम लोग यहाँ पे चिल्ला चिल्ला के कहते हैं बात करो.
As the valley stares at worsening turmoil, the question is, are terrorists now hiding behind school children? And just who is instigating them? With Shujaul Haq in Srinagar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Why are children out on the streets protesting? Schools were burnt earlier. And is this not a part of a wider design? Pawan Khera, Congress Party spokesperson, joins me. Also with me is Major General G.D. Bakshi, a defense analyst. Sambit Patra, spokesperson of the BJP. But my first question is to Engineer Rashid, independent MLA from Jammu and Kashmir. Engineer Rashid, schools were burnt earlier, sir. Now we see children not at school. They're out on the streets pelting stones. Is this not a part of a wider design, sir? A bigger game plan? And children are just pawns here.
Let me say one thing. Sambit Patra is on the panel, and when Narendra Modi ji went for demonetization and they made a much hue and cry that now stone pelting and militancy, everything will be covered because funding has stopped. And just 3 or 4 days back, banks are being looted in Kashmir. Tell me one thing, Pakistan, you allege that Pakistan has been funding militants. Then why do militants need to loot banks? So it is, for God's sake, try to understand, it's not in my hands. And if you cry, let you abuse me, let you do anything what you want, there's a complete revolt against Indian state in Kashmir. And it is because of the fact that we have lied since 1947 from Agra to Shimla, from United Nations to Tashkent. For God's sake, ask Sambit Patra to show some backwardity, behave like a statesman, and initiate talks with Pakistan. It was L.K. Advani who invited Hurriyat. We are not.
So what you're saying is, unless
everybody and talk
sir, let me try and understand this. What you are saying is, unless India talks to Pakistan, Kashmir will burn. Is that what you're saying, sir?
Not at all, sir. Not at all, sir. But nothing is in our hands because it has turned out to be a mass movement. Even if Gilani Saab today appeals people to maintain calm, I am sure nobody will listen to him. because of the fact that India has let down everybody. For God's sake, endorse several facts. Unless and until you didn't recognize the disputed nature of Jammu and Kashmir, and Modi ji has rightly said that people from POK and Gilgit-Baltistan also want to be part of India. If it is like so, then why not hold a referendum on both the sides of LOC and let people decide?
No, but isn't that rather utopian? But let me take that question to Sambit Patra. Sambit Patra, the BJP PDP government clearly has not been able to be on top of the situation. So what is the government strategy? Not talking to Hurriyat, not talking to Pakistan, but why not reach out to the youngsters, get the youngsters off the streets, sir?
First to Mr. Engineer Rashid, who was in fact advocating a plebiscite or a referendum on either side, that is, though both sides belong to India, that is Gilgit-Baltistan as well as Kashmir. Let me tell you, Mr. Engineer Rashid, if you are hearing me, that as far as plebiscite was concerned in the yesteryears, it was supposed to be conditional and sequential. There were certain conditions and there were certain sequences that were talked about. The conditions and the sequences were broken by Pakistan. So now it is out of the books of United Nations. For God's sake, don't talk about a plebiscite or referendum because it is not in the syllabus at present. Secondly, and very importantly, you and Mr. Farooq Abdullah have been mentioning that for God's sake, talk to Pakistan if you want normalcy in Kashmir and Jammu. My question is why? If you say that Pakistan has nothing to do with this, then why should you be pleading to talk to Pakistan? That means you are agreeing over here in this channel that it is Pakistan which is funding, which is instigating all that is happening in Jammu and Kashmir. And until unless we talk to them, you will continue acting as a conduit for all this kind of unrest that we are seeing. This is absolutely appalling. Thirdly, and very importantly, when we see these children throwing stone, the so-called children, I don't call them children, I call them indoctrinated young people who have not been instigated. They have been indoctrinated with the radicalized Islam form, what we are seeing in Syria and many other places. We are seeing educational institutes being destroyed. Students being brought to street because we want education not to flourish, we want education to perish. And this is jihad, where you don't want education to flourish, you want education to perish because in a democratic setup, we, as the Indian setup, we always want education to come up.
Respond to that. So I want Engineer Rashid to respond. You've raised some very pertinent points, Sambit Patra. Sambit Patra says schools are being burnt so that children are indoctrinated and put out on the street not to study but to pelt stones. And this is, according to Sambit Patra of the BJP, this is Islamization that is happening. Jen GD Bakshi, as someone who has served extensively in the Kashmir Valley, do you agree with this?
Let me tell you some very harsh facts, Gaurav. Let me put across some harsh facts. You know, the fact of the matter is, it is very easy to radicalize people, communalize them, fill the minds of children with communal venom. You can get them on the streets. I mean, you can, whether it is Gujarat, whether it is here, it is communal venom that you are talking of. You are talking of the radicalization, the Wahhabization of the valley. You are talking of the destruction of the secular, liberal, humanist school system. You are trying to inject the communal virus. We had the leader of the Hizbul Mujahideen, the one who has replaced Burhan Wani, you know, Mushtaq, telling us this is no war of liberation, this is no freedom struggle, this is for the establishment of a Caliphate. This is the same ghetto that you have outside Paris, the same ghetto that you have outside Brussels. Where
That's
the police
a grave
cannot
allegation
go.
you level, and I want Engineer Rashid to respond to that. Engineer
And
Rashid,
it is
please
not
respond.
an allegation. It is the ground reality.
Okay, Wahhabi Islamization of the Kashmir Valley, but do you agree with this? Pawan Kheda, before I get Engineer Rashid to respond to that, Pawan Kheda, do you agree? Hurriyat should be made irrelevant. Is this government strategy? Not talking to Pakistan to bring peace in Kashmir is this government strategy. But what is happening is rapid Wahhabi Islamization, as two of the panelists have said. Pawan Kheda.
Gaurav, there are several aspects to whatever questions you've asked. There are several questions in that one line. The government of the day made Hurriyat relevant in 2014 itself, when it refused to talk to Pakistan because the High Commissioner in Delhi met some Hurriyat leaders. Whether that policy was right or wrong, we can see the results. I don't want to comment on that. The second part is the same Kanni Jang, or the stone pelting that we call it, happened in 2008 when Tufail Mattu was killed, and then there were accidental encounters. It was brought under control. In 2010 again stone pelters came out. It was again brought under control. But in 2016 there have been 2,690 serious stone pelting incidents. We must ask why. What was the compulsion for the BJP and the PDP to ally after they campaigned against each other in a very ferocious manner, and rightly so? Fair enough. Maybe they were trying an experiment.
Is that the problem? PDP, BJP
argue
being
against
together?
that. Wait, it's not finished yet. I haven't finished yet. What is the compulsion to reach out politically to these children now? I don't understand this. You call them indoctrinated. I agree with you there also. Why not a counter indoctrination? What is the political outreach to these kids who are throwing stones?
Respond to that, Sambit Patra.
Is it a law and order problem alone? Is it just an economic problem? Or is it just a political problem?
That is your government strategy. You're not talking to Pakistan on Kashmir. That is your government strategy. Why not reach out to the students? Why not reach out to your own people, sir?
Let me see. I have been debating on this Kashmir issue since about a week. We all have been, including the anchors and the panelists. The oft-asked question to the Bharatiya Janata Party is that, look, the problem in the Kashmir today, the stone pelting today, is because of the fact that there is some kind of alliance between BJP and PDP, because you both are into unholy nexus. That's the reason as to why Kashmir is simmering. Now, Kashmir problem has been existing since the last 70 years. BJP and PDP only came into alliance after 2014. It's only 1.5 years that we are into alliance. So please don't blame the problem in Kashmir into an alliance, political alliance. Question of my good friend Mr. Pavan Kheda was, there might have been some compulsion that BJP and PDP came into alliance. No, it was not compulsion. It was the compulsion of democracy of this country. It was not any other compulsion. One got 28 seats, one got 25 seats. There was no other.
Why are you not reaching out to the youth, sir?
No.
Why aren't you reaching out to your own people?
Fine.
Why aren't you reaching out to your own people, sir?
My humble submission, Sambit ji.
I will answer this.
No, sir,
my humble submission is...
Let me answer, Gaurav.
I am not saying it's a new problem.
Gaurav first, and then I will take your question also, Mr. Pavan.
Mr. Kheda, let him answer this first.
Sure.
Why not reach out to your own people, sir?
It is a pertinent question. Government reaches out to its own people. This government is also reaching out to their own people. We have categorically stated, if you remember, when Rajnath ji visited the valley last time, he also held a press conference along with Miss Mehbooba Mufti, and the statement then was, we will talk to every stakeholder. But what is the definition of a stakeholder? A stakeholder is one who believes in the constitution of this country and who believes to talk within the framework of the constitution of the country. Even on the floor of the Supreme Court only about a week ago, this government was categorical in mentioning, no, we will not talk to separatists, we will not talk to communal elements, we will not talk to any of those elements who do not believe in the supreme constitution of India. Are we wrong?
Rashid?
I don't think we are wrong.
Okay, Engineer Rashid, you've heard the BJP and you've heard the Attorney General in Supreme Court.
No,
talk to everyone
I
who
need to
believes in the
respond to that,
Constitution of India. So why can't stone pelting stop for dialogue to start, sir?
Sir, first let me appreciate Smith Patra for confessing that the problem is there since last 70 years. And I agree with him. I have been telling it time and again that whatsoever is happening in Kashmir has nothing to do with BJP-PDP alliance, because it's a political problem which is languishing there since 1947. And what General Saab has said that Wahhabization and other things, for God's sake, you are trying to run away from the real issue by crying radicalization and Wahhabization.
Rapidly, Communist!
Because Gaurics are killing Muslims as if they are butchering us. For God's sake, don't say like that. It's a political issue. Let you initiate a dialogue with all stakeholders.
The general says...
What is he saying?
Muslim radicalization. What you do, aap kare to fir koi masla nahi.
All you have to talk about Gaurakshat.
No, but Engineer Rashid, this is how radicalization is happening. The terrorists who are picking up the gun, sir, from terrorist Burhan Wani to Burhan Wani's successors, they're all coming out on video, on camera, and saying this is not for Azadi, this is for Islam, and this is for the Caliphate. So where is this political, sir?
But sir, for God's sake, I understand people have their divergent view. what Burhan Wani or his successors have been saying, it doesn't necessarily mean that every Kashmiri will subscribe that you. And maybe it's a reaction to India's arrogance and not talking to people, because ultimately you are making a stand and you just want
India's
to manage
arrogance.
the
Can I come in?
Don't say my God.
Okay.
I just wanting to manage the conflict rather than resolve it.
No. Let me come in.
Mr. Patra wants to respond to you. Go on,
You
sir.
resolve the issue once for all, and that's in the interest
Mr.
of
Patra wants to
let
respond to you,
me.
Engineer Rashid.
See, I'll tell you, Gaurav. Gaurav, all the people who are in this
can we come in?
extremely eminent people.
After Mr. Patra,
I will
sir.
tell you, Gaurav. Sir, I'll just take 10 seconds, sir. I'll tell you, and GD Bakshi would agree with me, that until and unless we speak the truth, we cannot control the problem. We cannot have the solution. And the truth is, the Gorakshak is not a problem in Syria, sir. Radicalization is a problem in Syria. We are seeing the same thing over here. Please, for God's sake, let's come together and accept what the truth is. The truth is Wahhabization. The truth is indoctrination. The truth is, what is the political solution? If you say we want a caliphate, we want a separate Kashmir, which is not with India, then sorry, sir, I'll give up my head, but I will not give Kashmir. And I believe none of the panelists over here, including the anchor, would agree to. We all are ready to give up our heads, but we will not give you Kashmir, come what may. And this is the problem across the globe. It is not just a problem in Kashmir.
Okay, Wahhabization is the problem, says Sambit Patra and General GD Bakshi. Pawan Khera, do you agree that it's radical, the way religion is being misinterpreted and terrorists are taking advantage of that? Schools being burnt as part of a wider design where Pakistan plays a crucial role.
Everybody is taking advantage of that. Everybody is misinterpreting. Absolutely, but let me... Now these children that we are talking about have neither read the Constitution of India, would nor understand the caliphate issue. I'm sure these are alien concepts to these children. What are we talking about? Now we have to treat this issue, these three categories differently. Terrorists, the citizens of Kashmir, and the stone pelters. But if we beat them with the same stick, I'm sorry, we are alienating the entire state of Kashmir, and we are only obsessed, I'm sorry, with it with the geographical boundaries of Kashmir.
Good point there, sir. General GD Bakshi, the army is not on top of the situation. Today, 3,000 security forces personnel carried out a coordinate search and area domination exercise, and we're just reporting that a convoy, that a security forces convoy came under attack. So somewhere down the line, did the security forces take their foot off the pedal, and is politics to blame for this in your opinion, sir?
Is that question addressed to me, Gaurav?
It is, General.
Hello?
Yes, General.
Gaurav, thank you, Gaurav. Gaurav, I would like to state unequivocally that unless you define the problem, unless you face up to the truth and reality, I'm afraid you can't go for solutions. The problem in this place is the stark ghettoization of the valley. People talk that the state of Jammu and Kashmir is on fire. You are wrong. Correct your facts. It is only 7% of the land area of the valley which is being thoroughly communalized as a concerted program for the last 30 to 40 years. Every Friday you have the sermons in the mosque spewing venom, and then the crowds come out. They shout the slogans in favor of the ISIS. Now they are talking of a caliphate. Are we prepared to discuss a caliphate as part of politics? Are we prepared to discuss a caliphate? And let's not be hypocritical.
So, the Congress let's divide the problem and address each
the Congress was so vociferous about Gujarat.
Why
are they not
recognizing
that
the issue by using words as caliphate? This is nonsense. You are legitimizing these stray demands. You are legitimizing these stray demands of caliphate.
We need to, Engineer Rashid, gentlemen, I need to thank you all, but there's sad news that's coming in, just coming in. The driver of that security forces vehicle that was attacked by terrorists, we are told, has passed away. This was a terrorist strike. Terrorists fired indiscriminately at a vehicle of the security forces in Shopian in South Kashmir. What we are now being told is that the driver has passed away. Our condolences to the family. An army patrol team came in for an attack. This after an army, CRPF and Jammu and Kashmir police carried out an operation, an area domination exercise in this area. Army sources say more such exercises will be carried out in the days, weeks and months to come.